Okay, let's see if we can get this going now. Check, 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 check.
Check.
We can hear each other.
Okay.
You see, can you hear this? What about now?
Do I hear any? I just hear you.
You just hear me?
Yeah.
But I think they can hear both of us now. They said we're good. They said
Okay,
we're good
that's
now.
fine.
So there we
That's
go.
all that
There we
matters.
go.
That's
We're
all
back in
that
the building. So Knicks family, what's popping? As we work through some technical difficulties, I'm back with my man Jay Ellis from the KOT show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we did a great one last night, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure did.
You know what I'm saying? We did a great one last night, and we're looking forward to doing it again. But Jay, what is your thoughts on tonight's game?
I'm excited to see tonight's game. I'm excited to see this matchup. First of all, Kristaps Porzingis is returning to the Garden once again. He has not had really a good game since he's come back.
Right.
Since he's left New York.
Right.
So I'm hoping he has some more jitters, and we
yeah. Right. And you know, the stakes are even higher now for him coming back because he came back with Dallas, came back with the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, like the Celtics are contenders.
Right.
Championship contenders, and he is like a key cog, a key piece to them being a championship contender. So, hopefully the crowd gets on them pretty good tonight. You're gonna be there. You got to get on them pretty good tonight.
I'm getting ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, you got to get on them pretty good tonight, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But really, too, this is a real test for us because the Knicks, we haven't really been guarding the perimeter at all, and with KP being a stretch 5. Playing center, it's going to be even harder to guard that perimeter. We haven't guarded well in the preseason so far. Mm-hmm. And even though we were a top 10 defensive team last season to start, we tapered off and fell down to 19 by the time the season ended. So I want to see if we're going to be able to ratchet up our defense for this first home opener. So I'm really looking at the perimeter defense for our Knicks today.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, especially with Mitch. Mitch is going to have to get out there and guard KP because I'm assuming they're going to go play a little smaller with Drew Holiday. It's the other guard.
Drew Holiday, Derek Williams,
Derek White.
I'm sorry.
Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, right? So if they go with that lineup, you have no choice but for Mitch to guard KP,
right?
And then Randall's going to have to guard probably Jason Tatum.
Yeah, it's gonna be Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum, and then Jaylen Brown will be guarded by Quentin Grimes, unless Tom Thibodeau just likes that Quentin Grimes and Jason Tatum matchup. But
I mean, he's gone to that a lot.
Yeah, he's gone to that
a lot. So I can see him doing that.
Right, but then you got Randall having to guard Jaylen Brown. I don't know which matchup is better. And then even still, Quentin Grimes has got to, RJ Barrett's got to guard a smaller guy.
Which is not
one
his
of the two smaller guys.
Yeah. A lot of quickness for RJ.
Matchup. Yeah, it's a tough matchup.
It's tough and go. But I'm really looking at that pick and pop game from KP. I'm looking to see if we're going to switch more instead of just having Mitch drop and KP pull up threes. I'm really looking at that.
Yeah.
I'm really looking at that pick and pop game from KP and see if we adjust from how he played in the preseason.
Yeah, definitely. Guarding that perimeter is going to be key because all of those guys can knock down threes. Even if Al Horford is in the game, he can knock down threes.
I agree.
That's definitely going to be a key matchup, right? A key to the game. That 3-point shooting.
Absolutely.
I think they had a game last year where they tore us up from the 3-point line, if I remember correctly.
That's true.
And then, of course, in the preseason, they tore us up from the 3-point line too.
Yeah, they did. They even had like a post game where they said we weren't worried because we was hitting threes,
right?
And they're hitting twos, and we know threes are boarded too,
right.
So they're definitely going to do that again, and they played like that during the preseason. They launched them.
Yeah, they were launching them. Obviously, we're going to be worried about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but I'm also worried about Drew Holiday because they're probably going to put him on Brunson.
Barbecue chicken. All right.
I hope so. Well, I hope so.
Isn't there a film of Jalen Brunson dropping like 40 on Drew Holiday, man?
Drew?
Yeah. From last season, man. when he see Jalen Brunson, he see Jimmy Butler. All right, that's what he see.
I hope so, man. I hope so because we need Jalen Brunson to get off and do his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? RJ's going to have a tough matchup, probably. Randall's going to have a tough matchup. So, Jalen Brunson's going to have to do his thing if we're going to have a chance. And then, I still believe Randall's going to do his thing. RJ's going to have to step up because they got guys that can, they got guys all the way across the board that can give you 20. So RJ's definitely got to step up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Listen, the starting lineup is going to be a slugfest, but
yeah.
The bench, man. The bench. I know people were shaky about the bench in the preseason, but our bench gave their starters something to think about.
They did.
And that was without Emmanuel Quickly. So this game, we're going to have Emmanuel Quickly back. We're going to have Josh Hart back. I think our bench is going to come to play today, and we're going to try to run their bench off the floor. I think that's going to be the game plan for sure.
Yeah. I think that's got to be the game plan because they don't have a lot of depth.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They don't. Who the Peyton Pritchard? Who else you worried about coming off the bench?
I don't know. Ex Nick Luke Cornett. Is that who we afraid of?
Right. That's who we scared of.
Is that your king?
Right. So I think we should be able to dominate the bench. I don't want to say dominate the bench, but we should have an upper hand on the bench for sure. I'm still a little bit concerned, how he's staggering the rotations. I don't know, we're probably not used to it yet. So they're gonna have to figure out how to play with each other, like we were talking about last night. But the bench is definitely going to be a key to tonight.
Question for you: do you feel like Evan Fournier is going to see some time? We are playing the Celtics. Tom Thibodeau was asked earlier. It's like, do you think Evan Fournier will see some time? He told us he hasn't decided yet. What do you think? Are you going to see Evan Fournier play today?
I think we do. I think we're going to see him play today. Yeah. I think from the beginning of the season, Tom Thibodeau is going to give Evan Fournier a chance, to prove that he can be impactful with the team. Now, if the Knicks they start off struggling and go below 500, he'll be the first hook.
Right.
I think he'll be the first hook. They'll put him on the bench.
But so you're going back to the 10-man rotation?
I think he might start that way. I don't know. I think he might start that way. You know what I mean?
I feel like if he does, it's just a veteran flavor. I feel like that's what it is. It's like, I know you're a vet in this game. I'm giving you this time. Because if you look at the videotape, Evan had a couple of games where he hit some threes. But I felt like it was like adrenaline, and then it slowly tapered off each preseason game that he continued to play. And then the poor defense took over, and all of a sudden it kind of overlapped the shooting. And that's what I'm afraid of when it comes to Evan Fournier. Yeah.
Nah, I'm with it, especially a team like the Celtics who can knock down shots all over the floor. They have offense everywhere. And that they're not going to, we talk about the benches. They're going to have two starters out there with the bench at all times, right? So Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and KP, Jason Tatum and Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum and KP, however they decide to do it. You're going to have two starters out there and really good starters.
I agree.
So it's not just going to be the bench versus the bench. And that means Fournier is going to have to be out there with one of those guys.
This is why Tibbs got to stagger those bench players with the starters. He can't just do a clean cut. He has to do it. Keep Brunson in there. Keep Randall in here. And sadly, we've been wanting Randall to play less minutes with the lack of size of the power forward. I feel like Randall's going to end up playing more minutes this season.
Without a doubt, he's going to end up playing more minutes this season. Randall might be up 40 minutes a game or something this season, man.
Yeah, man.
Because if a team starts to dominate us at that 4 spot, what else can he do?
Nothing
He can do.
Unless you're gonna go with Sims at the 4.
Right. I'm not a fan of it either. That Sims. I'm not a fan of Sims and Mitch. I'm okay with Sims and Hart. Isaiah Hart.
Yeah.
Because Isaiah Hartenstein can do some other things.
Yeah, I just need if Hartenstein can not be afraid to shoot from the 3-point line,
right?
While Sims is out there, I think that'll make a world of difference on the effectiveness of that lineup.
Right.
That preseason game though, when I saw Hart out there, I felt like he was a little bit hesitant to take a couple of threes. He hit one, and then he just kind of abandoned the 3-point line and dribbled into traffic, and went to work that way. But I feel like he can't hesitate to pull that trigger if they're gonna leave you open.
Right.
If that lineup is gonna work for us.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. I know.
Yeah.
Time is of the essence. We thought you was gonna be here in enough time to hang out. But they switched it up on us. So now, got about 40 minutes to the game. It's gonna take a few minutes to get to the Garden.
Yeah.
So if you gotta get up to the Garden so you can get in, the line's gonna be there. I appreciate you stopping by and getting it started with me.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Appreciate you stopping by. And we'll be here next Wednesday. For the Knicks versus Cavs, because we're going to the game. We got about 50 people going to the game next Wednesday.
Oh, that's what's up.
So we're hoping that just at least half, but maybe everybody will meet here before the game, and then we'll be doing here again after the game. So if you're free, I know you'll be doing your own show, but if you're free, feel free to come by.
That's what's up. Next week might be kind of crazy, but if I can, I'll definitely pull up.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate it, Jay.
I appreciate
it. Enjoy the game.
All right.
Get on KP for us.
Yeah, boo.
Mom, very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming.
All right. Yo, salute to MBK family. Salute to the chat. We out of here.
No doubt. It's ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Yeah. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, just give us 1 second. We're going to get a quick picture. Thank you. All right, man. Later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to transition into the center of the table. All right, so just give me a second here. I'm going to transition to the center of the table. And I'm going to actually switch headphones too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me mute this one out. Turn my headphones up. And we're going to get back on track. Here we go, back on track. Hopefully you guys got a chance to get a picture too, since me and Jay took the picture. You guys could have screenshotted it, took your own picture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so here we go. Die Hard. So you didn't realize we was live. I know you're going to be watching the game. You got 40 minutes, man. Come join us. You got 40 minutes to be able to make it down here. Come join us if you can. Big game, Knicks versus Boston Celtics tonight. I'm expecting the normal starting lineups for the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson. I'm going to say, though, to be honest with you, that starting lineup versus the Boston Celtics is troublesome. Because the Celtics starting lineup is mean. Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis. That's at least what I assume is going to be the starting lineup. Okay. Now you can also have Al Horford start instead of either Drew Holiday or Derek White. Either way, it's still. I'll tell you what. If Al Horford starts, that's a better matchup for the New York Knicks, in my opinion. Right? Because now Julius Randle can guard, or actually Mitchell Robinson can guard Al Horford. Julius Randle can guard KP. Right? And then you got the guards that can match up. RJ Barrett guarding either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, Quentin Grimes guarding one of the other guys, and then Jalen Brunson guarding Drew Holiday or Derek White, whichever way they decide to go. But I do think that is a better lineup for the New York Knicks if they go big. But if they go small, I think it gives the Knicks a lot of trouble, right? Because now Mitchell Robinson's got to guard Kristaps Porzingis, and Julius Randle was caught guarding either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. And I think that's a problem, right? Because, one of those guys are going to attack Julius Randle. It's going to cause, possibly Julius Randle to get into foul trouble, so on and so forth. Now, those guys got to guard him on the other end too, right? If they go small in that regard, either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown's got to guard Julius Randle, which is going to cause a problem for them too. Quentin Grimes, right? Quentin Grimes has got to guard either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown in that lineup, like I was talking about with Jay. And then, of course, Jalen Brunson's got to guard either Derek White or Drew Holiday. I would assume he would guard Derek White because Drew Holiday, he's a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, and probably a better scorer than Derek White. So we are looking at the possibility of some mismatch issues tonight as the Knicks take on the Boston Celtics. We talked about the bench. I do want to talk about some players that I want to see have, I don't want to say breakout games, but big games. Obviously, Julius Randle's got to have a big game tonight. Right? Julius Randle's got to come off. I think he's going to be excited. He's going to be hyped. He's going to have energy. I think he's going to be into it. He's always into it right from the beginning of the season. Sometimes you see Julius Randle fade out during the season, but I think Julius Randle is going to be right there into the game and ready to go. Right? And ready to go. I think that Julius Randle is going to have to use his size. Okay? He can't stay out on the perimeter. If he has Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown guarding him, he's got to make those guys pay. He's got to make those guys pay. He's got to go down low. Right? If they play small, he's going to have one of those two guards on him. He's got to make them pay down low. Beat Jaylen Brown up. Jason Tatum up down low. Beat him up. They probably put Brown on him, though, because Brown is maybe a better defender. He's 6'5", 6'6". So, Julius Randle 6'8". Jaylen Brown might be a little bit stronger than Jason Tatum. Plus, you don't want Jason Tatum getting into foul trouble. Right? So maybe it's Jaylen Brown on Julius Randle. I keep getting those two guys mixed up, right? Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, da-da-da. Keep getting those guys mixed up. But Julius Randle's got to take him down low. Julius Randle's got to bang him around. Right? Julius Randle's got to make sure that Jaylen Brown can feel his physicality, feel his presence. Right? That is the way to take advantage of your size advantage. That's what the niggas have got to do. All right? If KP is guarding Mitchell Robinson, make KP have to move. Right? Don't let KP just stand in one spot. Don't let KP just stand, with Mitchell Robinson in the dunker spot. Utilize Mitchell Robinson. Put him in screen and roll after screen and roll after screen and roll after screen and roll. Make KP prove that he can move. Right? Make him prove that he can move. And KP is, a decent shot blocker, so you get a chance to pull KP out on the perimeter. Mitchell Robinson's used in a lot of screening roles. Right? But you got to make KP prove that he's going to be able to stop Mitchell Robinson from, catching those oops. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson should be able to dominate the offensive glass if they go small. All right? But utilize Mitchell Robinson against KP. If the Celtics go small against the Knicks, then the Knicks have got to utilize, they've got to rebound the basketball. Right? They got to smash the glass. Julius Randle should have 10 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson should have 12 rebounds. Right? RJ Barrett should be able to grab boards. Obviously, he's the same size as, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, this, that, and the third. But RJ Barrett needs to get his boards. The Knicks should be able to dominate the glass if the Boston Celtics go small. They should be able to dominate the glass. Then, we need Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes, listen, the Boston Celtics, like Jay said, they're gonna shoot threes. Oh, my fault. Isaiah Hartenstein needs to dominate the glass when he's in the game as well. Right? Isaiah Hartenstein, he's a good rebounder. He's a decent offensive rebounder, a good defensive rebounder. You know what I'm saying? He needs to dominate the glass too when he's in the game. Because for the most part, they're gonna be pretty small. All right, Quentin Grimes, I think he is a big key to tonight's game. I think he's going to be a key all season long, though, ladies and gentlemen. All right, because Quentin Grimes, the shooting, the Knicks need the shooting. They need the 3 and D from Quentin Grimes. They need Quentin Grimes to be able to knock down shots. If Quentin Grimes is not able to knock down shots, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks will be in trouble. Because the Boston Celtics are going to knock down shots. You better believe that. Right, the Boston Celtics are knocking down shots all night long. They're a 3-point shooting team. You know what I'm saying? And a good 3-point shooting team. So the Knicks got to be able to match that. If they're not going to be able to defend the perimeter, then the Knicks are going to have to match or at least be competent from the 3-point line. I don't want to see the Knicks. I mean, listen, the Celtics are probably going to shoot upwards of 43s, more than 43s. They might shoot 38, 39% from the 3-point line. The Knicks have got to be able to shoot a high clip too. They got to be able to make a high clip. You know what I'm saying? They got to be able to make a high clip. We'll see if they're able to do so tonight. But Quentin Grimes is a key. He is a big key in the Knicks being able to make a high clip from the 3-point line. He's the one guy in that lineup. Well, there's 2 guys in the lineup that can shoot over 40% from 3, Jalen Brunson and Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes is going to have to do so tonight. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to do so tonight. Jigga Man Porto said we need Grimes to lift off this season. No doubt about it. Quentin Grimes has got to he's got to play ball this season. He's a key. He's an X factor for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's a guy that is ready to automatically have a breakout season, but he's definitely an X factor. If Quentin Grimes shoots the ball well, if Quentin Grimes can help handle the ball some, if he can do some things out there, you know what I'm saying, then I believe, the Knicks are going to be all the more better for it. You know what I mean? But this is going to be a tough matchup tonight. I think the Knicks are going to win. I meant to ask Jay Ellis what he predicted for tonight. I think I did get his prediction last night when he was on the show, or when we did the crossover show. He predicted that the Knicks are going to win. I think the Knicks are going to get a win tonight. I think they're going to be pumped. I think they're going to be ready. I think the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, are out to prove. I think the Knicks are out to prove that they are one of the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. I think they're focused, and I think they're ready. And I know the preseason didn't look great. There was a lot to be desired from the preseason and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I believe the Knicks are ready to go. You know what I mean? And I believe the Knicks are going to they're looking to prove it tonight. I look back a couple of years ago when the Knicks first made the 4th seed. There were a lot of people who were, worried. Even last year, a lot of people who were worried about every single stint during the season when they had a tough schedule. And the Knicks started off the season that year with a very tough schedule. Right, but starting it off with a tough schedule actually, I think it kept them focused. They were focused and they were ready. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be the same thing tonight. I think the Knicks are focused. They're ready. 4 of the first 5 games are from playoff teams from last season. 1 play-in team. So I think they're focused. They understand what's at stake, and they understand that they got to be ready to take a step forward. You know what I'm saying? Steph, how you doing? You can come join me anytime you want. You want to? Let me get this mic unmuted for you. There we go.
Yep.
How you doing tonight? You ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Yeah. I didn't know the game was starting at 7:30.
No, 7. It's 7.
I mean 7. That's what I meant. 7.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know the game would start at 7. I thought the game was starting at 7:30 tonight. Yeah, but we're ready. We're about 18 minutes away from the game starting, something like that.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. I
Yeah,
can't wait.
and it's at the Garden too.
Yeah,
I know it's gonna be rocking.
Crazy. The crowd is gonna be crazy. Tonight.
Crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. Jay Ellis just left. He was just here. Yeah, he was trying to catch it. He was just here. He just left about 10 minutes ago.
I got caught up. My godson came over. Everybody want to come over at inopportune times.
Right. Right. And you know what's crazy? They left the setup here. They left it here. I didn't have to do much.
Oh, really?
They left the setup here. They let it go. So we were ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah. And I do got to get outside and check and make sure I don't have a ticket.
Right.
The ticket on my car because I was I've been running back and forth all night.
Really?
Checking to make sure that they don't give me a ticket. I don't want to pay that $115.
Okay. If that, it might be.
Yeah.
It might even be more than that.
I mean, I asked the dude outside. He said $115.
Oh, okay.
I mean that's just about half of what I would have paid for parking. So,
Right.
I still don't want to pay the extra $60. But
Yeah.
what do you think on tonight's game? What's your thoughts?
I think the Knicks have a good chance. I know I sound like a homer. We playing at home. It's gonna be a lot of energy, and I just have a lot of trust in Brunson and Randall. I really do. I think we'll get a chance. I think Mitchell Robinson will be ready.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way RJ Barrett has played. In the preseason, like his floor game has been really, really good. He's able to absorb contact and still finish strong at the rim. Last season, any little thing, ball is. I'm like, yo, as big as you are. Now he's absorbing the contact, finishing at the rim, hitting his free throws. So I'm really excited actually about seeing RJ Barrett tonight. It seems like he found his place with Brunson and Randall. Quick after that playoff experience, he gonna be ready. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah. And I think the Knicks are looking at this as already in early season. Like barometer,
correct?
What I mean? Even if they don't win the game, if they come out and it's a tight game, a battle, I think they're gonna look and say we can compete with the best of them. Right? I mean, I think they know it, but every year you got to prove it to yourself, right? And I think if they come out and play one of a really good game, tight game, they'll have something to build on. Yeah, I think they know that.
And what I'm really looking forward to is this is a different Boston team. They play a little different. They could put KP at the center, stretch us out a little bit. So I'm really looking to see how the Knicks play Boston. Do we have that ability to play teams of different styles? KP, Turner, there's somebody else, Brook Lopez. These are all guys in our division, that can shoot the three and pull our center out. So it's going to be interesting to see how we defend that.
Yeah. See a lot of people in the chat telling me, nah, they might tow it. Nah, they're not gonna tow it. They'll give me the $115 ticket.
Right.
We got until 7:00. If I can hold off without getting that ticket until 7:00, then I'm good to park there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, I'm trying to hold off. I have my man outside watching, trying to tell the guy, nah, he's moving equipment upstairs. But when I get a chance, as soon as we're off of here, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run down and see if I got a ticket or not. And if I do, then I'm gonna write in and say, nah, I was moving equipment. Right. We'll see. I don't know. Megan said it's already told. I hope not.
I didn't see anything coming in.
Yeah, I hope not. What do you think about the possibility of if the Celtics play small tonight, right? If the Celtics play small tonight, that means Mitchell Robinson's got to guard KP. Right. Julius Randle's got to guard either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. Right? Jalen Brunson's going to have to guard either one of Derek White or Drew Holiday if they go small that way. And then Quentin Grimes,
right,
is going to guard the other. How do you feel about that if they go small?
I would like to see. This is a situation where I would like to see Tibbs go situational. Not right off the bat to start. Put Sims at the 5. His lateral quickness is a little better. Put Randall at the 5. I know he always had concern about rim protection and rebounding,
Right.
but I think with DiVincenzo is a good rebounder. Hart is a good rebounder. I'm looking for RJ to rebound a little better. See it first, but if we're getting killed, I do think you have to make an adjustment and go small.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. And if we go small, I guess you're probably going small with Quickly first.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Going small with Quickly first, and then you could also go small with Dante DiVincenzo,
Right.
or Josh Hart, I guess.
Right. The thing about it is their guards have size, and Derek White and Drew Holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Both of them. How tall is Derek White?
I think he's about 6. Is he 6'4"? Somebody
I'm
in the
not sure.
chat let us know how tall is Derek White.
Yeah. He might be about 6'4". I think he's like 6'4". You know. And Drew Holiday's what, 6'5"?
6'4", 6'5".
6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
You know, so the guards. See, what scares me if they go small is that RJ Barrett's then gonna have to guard one of those. Well, RJ Barrett would have to guard either
Brown or Tatum.
Right? While Quentin Grimes is defending Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know how Tibbs would go, you know, if he trusts RJ to guard or Jaylen Brown. Because I don't know if Julius Randle can come out and guard Jaylen Brown because he's that much smaller, but Jason Tatum,
Right.
you know, he might have a better chance at guarding, you know. I think Julius Randle's done a good job when he's been challenged to guard one of those type of guys. He's done a good job.
Especially when it's a TV game.
Yeah.
And it's a high-profile team.
Right.
I've seen him play Durant really good. I've
Yep.
seen him play Jaylen Brown really good. So I think so.
Yeah. What do you think about the bench? The benches between the two teams. I mean, obviously, the Celtics will probably keep two, you know, one or two, well, at least two starters. I'm thinking on the floor at all time. But
right. I like our bench. I think they're gonna bring in who Pritchard comes off the bench for them. Now I'm not sure if they start Drew and Derek White, then Horford is gonna come off the bench.
Right.
If they start Horford and KP, then Derek White is gonna come off the bench. So, but they're not very deep. Once you get past Horford and Pritchard, Derek White, whichever one probably be the first one off the bench. You got Peyton Pritchard. I'm not sure. I like our bench. The only thing with our bench, even though it seems like it was just one move in terms of Obi going out, I just think our bench still needs to find that rhythm. Yeah. And plus you got the difference also is now you got Hart playing backup power forward. So I still think that second unit of ours deeper than Boston, more talented than Boston in my opinion, but we don't have that chemistry yet.
Yeah. And that's going to be the thing. And when you think about their second unit, I mean, if Derek White comes off the bench, well, if Derek White comes off the bench, that means Horford is starting.
Right.
But if Drew Holiday and Derek White are in the starting lineup and Horford's coming off the bench, Peyton Pritchard, I mean, they probably have a little bit of chemistry to bench.
Right.
You know, and then you're going to have, you know, two other starters in the game.
Right.
You know, so their bench unit would probably have a little bit more chemistry than the Knicks bench unit.
That's true, because RJ Barrett, I think, is the only starter that runs with the bench.
Yeah. Right. He's the only starter that runs with the bench. I mean, they do, you know, well, I guess we'll see if Tom Thibodeau's going to do it tonight, but, you know, he has been staggering it a little bit until he does get that moment where it's, I mean, in the preseason, he's had the moment where it was Emmanuel Quickly, Dante DiVincenzo, Evan Fournier, Josh Hart, and Hartenstein. You know, and that unit would run for maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes before he started to
do the substitution,
staggering the starters. Do you think Evan Fournier plays tonight?
I want to say no. But Tom Thibodeau left a little mystery to it.
He left a little mystery to it.
He is a Celtic killer. I'm not mad at Fournier getting one. I feel like, who are you putting him in there with?
Right.
Because we did it the year before. He started every game that he played, and our defense was ranked top 10, I believe it was that season. Not because of Fournier, don't get me wrong, but because of the players. You know, it was a team defense. It was a team scheme. Yeah. So I think it can work. Just depends on who is he in there with.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think we see anything different? I don't know. In the offseason, maybe the first game, I thought the offense moved better, right? I thought they passed the ball better. I thought I saw some good man movement. You know, the chemistry was there. Do you think we see anything different starting tonight?
Maybe. You know, I know there was this was just one play where Hartenstein hit Barrett backdoor. So the question I have is, in this read and react offense, is it that the players have the opportunity to cut backdoor and do those sorts of things and they're just not used to it, or that's just not part of the offense? Because I've seen Hartenstein hit a few people backdoor. Right. So is that one of the reads and we just don't utilize it, or what? We'll see. You know, we'll see.
Yeah. That's a good question. I do think it's one of the reads, and you know, we haven't had the guys who just naturally do it.
Right.
I think we have more guys that naturally do it now. Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart. I think it's something from college, you know, and they naturally will cut back door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think we can see more of it. Tom Thibodeau just has to put them in the right position, to do it. I think, and then when the opportunity is there, they'll do it. And I don't think Tom Thibodeau always puts them in that position, like with Hartenstein. You know, last year we didn't see him playing on the top of the key much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where he can have the ability to pass the guys cutting to the lane. You know, we didn't see it. Now, he knew he could do it. I don't know if he just wasn't confident or what it was.
Right.
But you know, Tom Thibodeau strikes me as the kind of guy, the more he gets used to you, the more confident he is now in using a skill set. But he's like, he's got to trust you.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too, because Hartenstein could bring something totally different. We saw a little bit last season, but I'm hoping he amps it up and take it to another level this season. He hits a few threes in the preseason. That would definitely be huge for us. But again, does Tom Thibodeau trust him? Does he have that light? Is it a Hartenstein confidence issue, or is this Thibodeau like, nah, I don't want you handling the ball, too much? Because he does have his turnover rate last season was a little high. Hartenstein was a little up there. You know, Tibbs don't like turnovers.
No. Tibbs, he don't like turnovers. He's not having it. He's definitely not having it. I'm hoping that we see, more, like we talked about last night, more opportunities for Quentin Grimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? More, cuts off the ball, more down screens, things like that. That's what I want to see from Quentin Grimes, because right now he's just static. He's just standing there, waiting for Randall or Brunson to kick it out to him, and he's not doing anything. Right now, of course, when they do kick it out to him, that straight line drive to the basket is pretty good.
Right.
But other than that, he's static. He's not moving. And I think if you can get him moving, like you said last night, I think, when you get guys moving, now, there's more of a chance for the defense to make a mistake. Right. Guys to miss an assignment.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you can get Quentin Grimes is one of those guys, you're not gonna, I don't know how much you're gonna get Julius Randle moving.
Right.
I guess you could, but I don't know how much you're going to.
Right.
I think Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett are the two guys in that starting lineup that you can really get moving around the floor, coming off screens, doing things like that, which is going to help the defense to shift.
Yeah.
I would like to see more of that. I don't know that we're going to, especially in the beginning. I think Tom Thibodeau is going to go with what he knows.
Right.
And
now, are you talking about running a play for Grimes, or are you talking about just weak side action while Brunson and Randall, or you mean running an actual play?
I wouldn't mind seeing him run a play. You know what I'm saying? Let's run a play to get, just, every once in a while, we're going to run a play for Grimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind seeing that happen. Because I feel like if they did that every once in a while, ran a play specifically for him, maybe that builds his chemistry with some of the other guys, and then maybe whatever that play is, sometimes they do it without even calling it, right? They just, the opportunity is here, let's do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't mind seeing, every once in a while a play being called.
Yeah. And the thing about Grimes, what I saw from last season, he can attack a closeout.
Yeah.
He can attack a closeout, get into the key, and he keeps his head up. So he'll finish. Actually, he has a pretty high pass rate when he drives. It's like he looking to pass more than he looking to score when he attacks the closeout.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. I'm watching Grimes. He's just a key to me all season. I'm just watching and seeing how it works. And I'm pretty sure Tom Thibodeau is looking too. But I think Tom's got to do his part to help Quentin Grimes get into the game. Because like a night like tonight, I think Quentin Grimes is going to be critical with a team that can shoot threes.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics can.
Yeah.
If they're not going to defend the three well, then they got to be able to hit the three.
You got it right. You got to match it. One or the other.
Right.
And I'm not sure. I mean, we talk a lot about our 3-point, our perimeter defense. I just don't think that's how we play. I think our offense is set that we're willing to give up those shots because we just believe,
right,
for whatever reason, that we're not going to get killed, on 3-point shooting.
Right.
Protect the rim, protect the paint, keep guys out the paint.
And, I guess, I don't know what the final numbers were last year, but I think, the Knicks still might have been one of the top teams at stopping the, with teams shooting the 3-pointer against them. Right?
I think you're right. I think that's what opponent 3-point percentage or something like that.
Opponent 3-point percentage or something.
I think we were, but you can argue that it wasn't because of our defense. We were just missing. They were just missing.
They were just missing.
But that could be part of the strategy too. Teams are just not going to hit the 3-point shot at such a high clip on a consistent basis.
Right.
So there are going to be some games where you give it up. But overall, when you take the whole season into account, we're going to be all right. Yeah. That has to be the philosophy.
It has to be. And I mean, we can say, it didn't work.
Right.
But, I guess in the totality of the season, you can look at it and say, well, actually it did work.
Right.
It's just those games when they get killed from the 3-point line, and then you have 3-4 of them in a row. We forget about all the games when teams shot 34%.
Right.
When we focus on the games, teams shot 42%.
Right.
And we got blown out the water.
Right.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Because to cover the 3-point line, you asking Mitchell Robinson to stretch a little bit. You asking RJ Barrett to stretch a little. I mean, that leaves the key open.
That leaves the key open.
I wish we were flexible. Today, with this team, we're gonna cover the paint. Right. We in base 1 or whatever you want to call it. We got another team coming in. We're in base 2, where we defend it outside in. But we don't have it.
No, we don't have that at all.
We don't have that.
Tom Thibodeau was like, no, we're sticking with this is what we do.
Right.
We're just gonna focus on what we do, and that's it.
Right.
And I understand that a little bit, especially if he doesn't feel like he has a team that has, that he doesn't have the highest IQs, all the way across the board. Then he may be a little bit nervous about too many switches.
Right.
You're switching this and you're switching that this night and that night. You might be like, my guys are going to get confused.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so maybe he's concerned about that. I still would like to see him do more, play a little bit more zone. It doesn't have to be every, all the time, but just a little bit more zone to confuse the team a little bit.
Yeah.
Confuse your opponent, make your opponent have to think, about what's going on. I just,
I agree with that. I don't trap a little more.
Yeah.
And you think about from the start of last season, we added Hart, defensive IQ. We added DiVincenzo, defensive IQ. So I know before, like maybe 2 years ago, we were questioning how much more can we do with our defense? Do we have the players?
Right.
Now, I think we might.
Yeah.
That we could do things, a little differently.
Bit differently. Yeah. I hope so. I mean, we've seen times. Yeah. I'll take what I had last time, Malibu and cranberry juice.
That's the service we get here at Legends. This is how it goes down here.
Right. So I guess we'll see. We've seen it in the past, but normally it's when the team is kind of in dire straits,
right.
And there's nothing else to go to.
Right.
Then he's like, okay, well, we'll try some trapping and this and that. When his first season here, I think the Knicks were down in Brooklyn, and it was the fourth quarter, and he did a bunch of trapping at the end of the fourth quarter,
right?
And and the Knicks got back in the game,
right?
And I was like, yeah, this is something that we're gonna start to see, but it was just that game.
And that was that with Sims coming out on the perimeter, like trapping Durant or something like that? I know there was one game.
I don't remember if Sims was on the team yet.
Okay.
At this time. But I do remember there was a time because we were talking about Sims and his ability to trap out on the perimeter and still get back into the basket.
Right.
I don't think we saw that enough either.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we talked about last night. Shout out to Ebony. She said that. That's what she would like to see. Or was it Jay Ellis? One of them about more situational stuff. I just don't think Tibbs is a situational guy.
He's not. Right.
I mean, he's situational in the sense that whiskey sour in the sense that RJ is out, let's bring in a situational player like Fournier, but not situational in this game, this right now, this particular situation, we can use some shooting or some defense or something.
Yeah. He doesn't do that at all. I mean, I rarely see him say it's the 10 seconds left in the quarter or the half, and he says, you know what, I'm gonna bring in all 3-point shooters. I'm gonna take my coldest 3-point shooter, Evan Fournier, off the bench, just for this play, because we got 3-point shooters out. We don't even see him do that. You know what I mean? I don't know why or what he's scared of.
He's just a guy. I mean, you can't blame a coach for having his philosophy, and his philosophy is no situation. No situations.
Right. That's his philosophy. Situational to him is just
right.
We got a bunch of guys hurt. That's the situation. Now you can play.
Right.
That's it. That's the situation. Right. No other situations for Tibbs.
Right.
So I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't see him changing much because the Knicks have won and they're winning. So I don't see that he's going to change much. I think he's going to stay exactly. Yeah. He's going to continue to do exactly what he's doing until they're no longer winning.
Right.
And at that point, the front office might be looking to, move on if that's the case. Because I find it hard that Tibbs is going to be ready to, move. What do you expect from Brunson tonight?
The same, man. The same. I do think he's going to get a lot more attention. He got a lot of attention last year. I think he's going to get even more attention this year. But he's just so smart.
Yeah.
It might take them a few possessions, to figure out, what they're doing.
Right.
But I expect pretty much, the same. Yeah. Score the ball, make them guard him, and then pass it out, to the shooters. Be sharp. Stop the inopportune turnovers. I think he has an opportunity to be a 50, 40, 90 guy. He was close last season. I think his free throw shooting was 82.
Yeah.
So I expect him to be better. But this is the thing, and I've said this. I don't know. How does he get better? Like how, because he's already efficient. He knows where his spots are. He can get to his spots. He's a really good leader. Obviously, he can get better defensively, but I just don't think that's in the cards because he tries, and a lot of that is just physical. So I was asked that question, and I was like, I don't really know. And everybody can get better, but I couldn't pinpoint how he could get better.
Exactly how he can get better. I don't know. I don't know how exactly. I'll say this: the beginning of the season, I don't think he started off the beginning of the season last year that great.
Okay.
Right. So maybe if he has a stronger start, because now he's a little bit more comfortable in who he is on the team. I think the same thing like we were talking about for RJ,
Right.
how RJ had to kind of figure out his role. I think it was the same thing with Brunson last year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I think everybody knows this is the guy we're going to at the end of the game. So, I seen somewhere someone said they think Brunson could average 30 a game this year. I don't know if he's going to average 30, but I can understand the thinking because you look at the playoffs and what he did in the playoffs. They said 28 to 30. And what he did in the playoffs, and if you look throughout the season, the team might just recognize he's the guy. So he already has 23 points. Now it's the last 6 minutes of the game.
Right.
We're going to Brunson every time down the floor. You know what I mean? And I think that would be an area that would at least help his scoring average go up.
Right.
I don't know how he actually gets better. I think if he just does what he did last year, he already kind of broke out and opened everyone's eyes to him, right? So if he does what he did last year, then I think he should be on the All-Star team and maybe even a candidate for All-NBA.
Yeah. What do you think of the criticism that one way? I'm not even looking at the chat, but I'm sure there's somebody in there say, well, one way he can get better is pass the ball more. I'm okay with him the way he passes the ball because I just feel like if they stop him, he passes it. If they don't stop it, he takes it.
Right.
But what do you think? You think he should make a concerted effort to pass it more?
I think he should just play his game. I think this team right now, I think it calls for him to be a scorer. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think that's his role on his team. And every team he plays for, he's going to have a different role. I think his role on his team is to be a scorer. And if you start trying to force, tell him, well, we need you to pass more, right? And so now he goes out and he's trying to pass more, but those guys aren't hitting shots, or those guys, just not ready for it, or whatever it is. Then it's gonna be all right. What's Brunson doing? Why isn't he shooting the ball? Why? I think he's just
not being aggressive.
Yeah, right. Not being aggressive. I think he's just got to do what he does, right? He do what he does, and let the rest of the game come to him. I mean, because he averaged 6 assists last year, and if guys shot the ball a little bit better, he might have been at 8, right? And I do want to say to the chat, man, somehow, some way, my channel got demonetized this morning.
What?
I don't know what the deal is.
From the show last night?
I don't think it's from that show. Okay, we didn't have any graphics or anything. So right. So I ain't putting my Cash App in there. If you find it in your heart, right? You can hit me on the Cash App, $ nothing but Knicks.
Wow.
I did pin it to the top of the chat too. I don't know what it is. I did an appeal, got denied.
And they don't tell you what it is?
They don't tell you what it is. They just said like reused content or something like that. And I'm like, what reused content? I have no idea what they're talking about. I've been doing the same thing for years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I contacted someone else. They sent it to the investigative, whoever. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if that gets anywhere. Hopefully that does.
Is it for a period of time or forever?
Oh, well, so right now, basically in 90 days, I can apply. If I don't get this, if I can't get another appeal or get whatever, in 90 days, I can apply. So,
wow.
I don't know what's happening or what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
They put the lineup up. So it is KP at center.
Yep.
Oh, they started
small. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and KP. And the Knicks got Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and watch the game. We'll catch you after the game. All right. Feel free to hit that Cash App if you want to. But, we appreciate your time, and we'll catch you after the game. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy it. We're out of here. Peace.
All right. Peace.